Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm your boy A1Gs from Relationship Talk with G's, and I want to give you a brief tutorial on how each show will go on moving forward before we start the show right now. Every show that you will see in the beginning of the live, you will see an 8 to 10 minute timer with the banner of the topic banner in the background. You'll see a countdown. This gives enough time for people to join YouTube, get the family, get everybody together, the community together while I get ready for the show. An 8 to 10 minute timer. Then after you see the 8 to 10 minute timer, you might either hear a theme song play with a steady banner, a still banner, and the timer going, or you'll see the intro video, which means it's showtime. After that, I will then introduce myself, talk about the bottle of the evening, sometimes the candle of the evening, and I might even include the fragrance of the evening. And then I get right into the 20 to 30 minute monologue on the topic of the night. After I do that, I then will take calls, video calls, phone calls. Call line will be open with a phone number on there. All callers waive their rights to privacy on YouTube, on Instagram, in the comment section, and in the video calls and in the audio calls. As everything, all content, any participation of your input will be showcased on YouTube and is already on YouTube live. So, I hope you guys enjoy the show tonight because we're talking about something very important. We're going to be talking about my relationships. I hope you enjoy this special segment tonight as we get into the real talk on Relationship Talk with G's. Hope to see you in a few minutes. Show lights. Boom. There we go. Welcome to Relationship Talk with G's, where our conversations aim to keep you pleased. I'm your boy A1G's, and you are now welcome to the Guru's house. Take your shoes off when entering. How you doing, everybody? Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Set the tone a little bit. How you doing? We talking about me tonight. I know y'all ready. We talking about my relationships tonight. I'm putting the topic up here right now. We talking about my relationships tonight. I know y'all want to hear that. Hold on. That's right. I had to make sure I say that from the rip, so you make sure y'all stay tonight. This is the topic right here. I want y'all to share the line to everybody. I want everybody to hear it because we talking about my relationships tonight. I want y'all to share the live to everybody because I'm talking about my relationships tonight. That's right. YouTube, Instagram, share this link to everybody. We got some real talking to do tonight. I know, I got some explanation to do. I got some explaining to do. Y'all about to learn a lot about me. All you gotta do is sit back and watch. Put your popcorn emojis up. We got some shit to talk about. Put your popcorn emojis in the comment section. It is movie time, baby. I'm about to give y'all a show y'all never gonna forget. That's right. Share that live to everybody. Let's get it. If you give me a couple seconds, I'm sharing the live as well too. I appreciate all y'all that are stepping in tonight because we got a serious conversation to talk about tonight. And I know y'all been waiting for this. And I'm going to use my conversations as a trendsetter. Let me turn the music off. It's nice and peaceful, but I'm going to turn it off. But we're going to talk about my relationships tonight. And I'm using this to trendset. I'm using this as an example, okay, of good case scenarios, bad case scenarios, and ugly case scenarios to show y'all that everyone you and I alike, we're perfectly human. Things happen, but it's a matter of how you handle it. It's a matter of the things that you take in life that make sense. And if it makes sense, you got to make a nickel out of it so you could turn it to a diamond in the rough. If it makes sense, we're talking money here. If it makes sense, you got to make a nickel out of it to become a diamond in the rough. Make sense? That's right. I'm sending this to people talking about my relationships I have right now. Topic called I don't talk shit about my exes because I picked them. All right, cool. I just want to copy and paste that. Boom. All right. That's right. What did your exes do? And you're going to see case scenarios in here that shows not only what did my exes do, but you got to remember, I'm just an ex just as much as they're an ex. So what did they do? What did I do? You know? And that's pretty much that. And I'm going to use these case scenarios to show what you are, what and what not supposed to do when getting to know somebody, when going through the vetting stages, when simply being in a relationship. I'm still sharing a lot of other people, so if you want to give me a couple seconds here. Do me a favor, share this to a couple people. Just share it. Just be like, G's talking about his relationship tonight. Y'all need to tune in. I'm going to like this one. And I'm going to allow y'all to call into the show. And we're going to trust that. I'm using my case scenarios as an example for what your case scenarios should be like. I'm giving you guys the Bible. So, let's do this. Those of you on YouTube, smash that like button for me, please. If you are watching on YouTube, please smash the like button, hit the like button, drop the comments. If those of you just tuning in to YouTube, we are talking about me tonight. I am the topic. We're going to be talking about my past relationship history. We're going to be talking about actual things that actually happened, but we are not going federal tonight. If you thought that was the case, you are sadly mistaken. I do not mention names because I respect my exes. Do you know why I respect my exes? Because I respect myself. And you have to have respect for yourself to have respect for others. That's right. So we're going to leave names out of this equation because they definitely a phone call. Or I don't know, man. I'm thinking even a phone call away, but they definitely a DM away. So I don't know if I got to put my glasses on for this one, but nevertheless, what we will do is get right into it, and I have to pay my tour time. So we are going to go over the bottle of the evening, the candle of the evening, and the fragrance of the evening. So let's grab that good old bottle. Give me a second. If y'all can hear me, you two, throw one in the chat room. Ladies and gentlemen, the bottle of the evening tonight. The bottle of the evening tonight is Stella Rosa Golden Honey Peach. Let me go ahead and show that for YouTube. Instagram, this is the bottle of the evening. Stella Rosa Golden Honey Peach. And why did I pick this bottle? Because we have a golden moment to talk about tonight. Those of you just joining in, I'm going to say it again. We are talking about my relationship history. YouTube, there you go. Let me see if I can show you that real clear. Bottle of the evening, Stella Rosa Honey Gold Peach. And I'm going to go ahead and pour that one for the live. I'm going to pour it half for y'all, half for YouTube. There you go. Sip that one out. Damn, that was good. Shit. Candle of the evening tonight is caramel maple because we had to set the tone. We had this level set the tone for tonight. And also, your boy likes colognes too. Fragrance of the evening, Mustang, one of my favorite colognes. I put this cologne on when it's time to put your player game on, baby. You feel me? That's right. That's right.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
That's right. That's right. So let's get into it. I'm not wasting no time. I'm going to talk for a little bit, then I'm going to stop in between, try to invite a couple more people. But while I'm talking, y'all can just share some people too. I might even look if we can get 100 people in here. I'll do a Cash App giveaway right now. I'll do a Cash App giveaway right now. If we can get 100 people on YouTube or on Instagram, I'll do a Cash App giveaway right now. And I see who's in the live right now. So I'm watching. So let's get right into it. For all of you, if you don't know me, if you're new to the show, I go by the name of A1Gs. A1Gs is a music artist name of mine, as a rapper and as a singer. And in relationship talk with G's, the G's, that's where the G's comes from. My real name is Warren, but I like to go by G's on here because that's what we do in the social media streets. Okay. And I'm a very hardworking man. This is the monologue. We're starting right now. I'm a very hardworking man. I have been working 10 toes down since I was 14 years old. I moved out of my mother's house when I was at the age of 20. Grandmother's house. I'll say that. Grandmother raised. I have a very old soul. I grew up in a house full of women. That is how I got to have a full understanding of women, from the oldest to the youngest. I have a full understanding of women. Let me make that very clear. Shout out to you in the comment section. Trev Smooth, Chew the Fat with Smooth in the comment section gave me the number 1, meaning that he can hear me. Shout out to you, always showing love. Shout out to you. Now, let's get back to it. At the age of 18, I worked at those of you just joining in, we're talking about my relationships. At the age of 18, I got my first full-time job at the Philadelphia International Airport. And let me tell you, if people tell you that your job place is not where you really meet people, if people tell you that your job place is not where you meet people, you are sadly mistaken. Because the job place is the place where you meet a lot of people. The job place is where you meet a lot of people. Think of the job place as your high school. Think of the job place as your high school. I'm just sending this to a couple more people. Boom. And I ain't gonna lie, I've had quite a few people that I've gotten to know, talk to from the job that I was at. Outside the job, on the job, and definitely on the job, because I put so much overtime in my job. I'm talking 60 plus hours a week. Man, that is the standard that you should go by. If you ain't working, let me tell you something. Off of my personal experience, if you ain't working 60 plus hours a week, men, you can't have a conversation with me. If you are not working 60 plus hours a week, I work 60 plus hours a week, sometimes close to 100. I had multiple days my job had to force me to clock out and go home. We had a snowstorm. There's times where I barely had money to get on the bus. I would walk my ass because I was piled up in debt. I had to walk my ass to work. When I was being in Philly, living in Southwest, at that present time, there to the airport was an hour walk, walking over the trolley tracks. I'm not capping. We talking real talk tonight. If you understand where I'm coming from a hustler standpoint, throw a suitcase in the comment section. Throw popcorn in the comment section. Throw a 100 emoji in the comment section. When I barely had money to get my ass on the bus, I walked to work, and it took an hour to get there. True mindset of a hustler, somebody who want to get to the bag. And that's one thing that people respected about me. And that's one thing that women respected about me, that I was a hard-working man. I did whatever I had to do to get to the bag, because true women understand, and true hardworking men understand, that when it comes to men are not given a get out of jail free card. Men are not given a get out of jail free card. They must do whatever they have to do to get to the bag. They have to do what they have to do to survive for themselves, for their loved ones, and for their family, if they have one. I did what I have to do. I worked my ass off to get where I'm at today, and I still got a long time to go. From the age of 18, I worked at this job at the airport, cleaning planes and doing wheelchair services where you transport passengers to and from their gates. I was a supervisor. And I worked at that job for 8 years. That is a long time, long enough for you to meet enough people, friends. I'm telling you, this is the truth. People say your job ain't your family. Yo, when you work at a job as long as I did and put as many hours I did, you make new friends, family. You might come across a sneaky link. You might come across somebody that you end up liking. And I have plenty of relationships outside of my job. Of course I did. But anybody that knows me outside of social media platform and knows me personally, if you haven't been sleeping on a rock, everybody knows about that one major relationship that I had. And that's the first one that I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about every relationship of podcasts. So you're going to learn a lot about different case scenarios that I was in. You're going to learn about someone's where it didn't work out due to the female's end, but I take accountability because I picked them. You're going to learn about some in the end where I fucked up. and I take full accountability, because true men understand that you cannot just blame women for everything. Men must take accountability for the choices they make. Women must take accountability for the choices they make. And the relationship that I'm going to talk to you about is what I would say still to this day, probably one of the realest relationships I ever had. One of the relationships that I'm about to talk about right now is one of the realest relationships I had. And me and that person was friends first, long before we got into a relationship. It lasted like a year. Lived together and everything. She also had a daughter. And I personally don't have any biological children. So you're gonna learn what it was like for me in this case scenario, what it was like for me to date somebody that had an offspring that didn't belong to me. Okay. I met this person it was at my job. And let me tell you, shout out to her, because I learned a lot from her. And it was a lot of things from that one relationship alone, from that 1 year, built my character for who I am today. And me and that person, we still communicate on a very mutual basis, because let me make 100% clear. She wanted to be friends. I wanted to be with her. Men, let's take accountability. Let's be honest. We keep it real on this side of town. I wanted to be with her. She wasn't pursuing to be with me. I wanted to be with her. Because when I see something in a woman, I'm bringing it out. Not only I'm bringing it out, I'm going to do whatever I feel like that I think that has to do to pull you under my wing. And I'm going to make you mine. That's the mindset I had when I liked somebody. And there was nothing no one or no thing could do to stop me. If I liked, we can have nothing in common. A lot of relationships go well off of opposites attract. I can't have a boring chick. I can't have somebody who's boring. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I can't have somebody who's the exact same. I'm very energy driven. If you're boring, I'm going to be boring. I'm going to give off the same energy that you're reciprocating. So I met this person. I was a supervisor, and I was their supervisor. Okay, and we had a really good friendship. We had a lot of nice conversations. And conversations is intimacy for me. A lot of people are so driven by sex. There's more to life and relationships than the sex. How about stimulating me intimately? How about getting to know my mind? How about getting to actually know something about me? And this was the perfect case scenario of a woman who truly understood that concept of what it was like to actually getting to know a man. This was the true concept of somebody who actually understood what it was like to actually get to know me outside of how people saw me. I was known as the square guy. I ain't gonna lie. Everywhere I went, I was a fucking square. I was a square. I didn't come off as somebody that was a player. Came off as somebody who was pulling bitches. Because of where I was at. There's a time and place for everything. But if I see something that I like, you better best believe why nobody looking. You better best believe why nobody looking.
I'll make you famous.
It was going to be showtime for you at the Apollo, because I was going to run my movie for you. And guess what? I was going to pull your ass off. Real bad. And let me tell you something. So we ended up, this person wanted to know what it was like to be supervisor, and asked me, do you feel like that we had a lot of intimate conversations, personal conversations, but when it got to the work thing, she asked me a question. She says, what was it like to be a supervisor? And do you think that I would make a good supervisor? And I told her my honest opinion. Mind you, let's keep in mind at this present time, I actually liked her. And she sees some type of character in me, and she kept telling me, hey, look, I could put you on my, I don't know if she remember I said her friend or her cousin. And I was like, cousin? Or friends? No. You don't have to put me on anybody. I want you. And our friendship and the work relationship that we had and our friendship that we had elevated me to different levels as a man and elevated her to different levels as a woman. From somebody who's dealt with controversial men, she never came across somebody like me of that character at that present time. And when she did this, right, so I helped her, gave her some tips, stuff like that. Was trying to help her because I wanted her to be a supervisor. Because I told her, I said, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you make a good supervisor or not, but if that's something that you want to do, I'm going to help you. I'm going to take you there, and I'm going to do whatever it is that I can do to help you prepare yourself if you want to take that role. Because life is about risk. How do you know if you're going to win a lottery if you're not going to scratch that card? If you're not going to scratch that lotto ticket? So, long story short, she ends up getting a supervisor position. I'm like, cool. Now I got a boss chick that moving along with the boss. Level up.
I'll make you famous.
Level up. And that elevation and that motivation and that bond that we had created a more of an intimacy bond. See, everybody see what they saw from the outside, and that's okay because you know why? It's none of their damn business.
Get the French toast out of here.
I was very private and very secret about my relationship. I was very, very sacred about that. Now, whether the other person told things or whatever, that ain't none of my business. But on this side of town, we keep everything in the pocket at that present time. Now, the reason why it didn't work out, there's a various number of reasons why our relationship didn't work out. For one, it was a thing of being at the same job. For two, those who truly got to know me, like this person, knew that there was more to me than what the public saw me as. They chose to get to know me. That is what turned me on the most about this woman. But like other people, as on a friendship level, just in general, we're talking in general, who chose to actually get to know who Warren was, who actually got to know who that guy was, and not who the supervisor was, opened up more, unlocked more levels of access to a friendship, to a better acquaintanceship. Let's put it like that. A better bond by actually getting to know me. And that was also the problem being at the job, because a lot of people would hear rumors that I had sex with different employees. That wasn't the truth. I ain't gonna lie. I used to always keep a pretty chick on the side of me. I used to always keep one on the side of me at the job who happened to be pretty. There was a lot of gorgeous women on the job. There's gorgeous women everywhere. It wasn't a thing of me keeping a pretty chick intentionally or because she's pretty. No, it wasn't a matter of me keeping somebody by my side that was a hard worker. People thought that employee that always used to walk around with me used to be the person that didn't do anything. Whole time, that was the employee that did more than all of them. And that employee that I always kept on my side used to ask me, why don't you make them work as hard as I do? I said, because I see something in you. I'm going to bring it out. I used to always be trying to elevate people, trying to make them supervisors, leads, managers, all this stuff like that. That was me. But this was the same speculation that was seen by the same people that wanted my relationship to fail, because they knew that we was in a relationship and nobody really knew until something got leaked out and stuff like that. We're not going to get into all that. That's a little too deep. But that's how a lot of people found out. So now that people know, some people was testing the waters by lying, saying things to her, and she would be running back to me, cursing me out instead of asking questions. So the job, it was one big factor that brought us together, but it was also a problematic factor that slowly broke us apart. But we were still good friends. And true friendship, understand that things go part ways for the better, not for the worse. She's doing great right now. I'm happy for her, man. I really am. I'm really happy for her. She's doing really good right now. Neither one of us at the job anymore. But long story short, I have been working for myself for over 3 years now. I have been working for myself for over 3 years now. Shout out to me. I'm going to toot my own horn. You damn right. Work my ass off where I'm at today, to where I can sit down and talk to you guys from my podcast studio. And she's doing great too. She's doing really great. Every once in a while, tap in with her, see what's going on. You know, probably one of the best relationships I had. And I hope she sees this, you know, because I'm telling the truth. True people, we understand that we are humans. Shit happens. You got to move on. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Long as you're happy, I'm happy. But the one thing that hurt it was being on the same job. Being on the same job, because there was a lot of men there that liked her. There was a lot of women there that liked me. We was like the hot couple. We was like the Will and Jada. We was like the celebrities on a pedestal at that job. We was like the celebrities on the pedestal at that job. And it was a lot of good stuff. It caused a lot of bad stuff. I remember, I'll give you an example. I came to that job one day and some employee see me, never worked this employee before. I worked afternoon shift. They worked morning shift. And they was like, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. She's like, what's your name? And she seen me for the first time. Never seen me before. I was just clocking in. She was clocking out. This employee. I'm like, I'm Warren and stuff like that. She's like, oh, you're Warren. I'm like, should that is that a bad thing or a good thing? Either or. If it's bad, I'm used to it. She says, no, it ain't bad at all. She's like, I heard how you get down in bed. I'm like, first of all, I was like, I'm like, pause, and I'm
my God.
Whether I knew whether it was true or not, I know my ex had friends on the job. Cool, fine. I mean, it only made me look good. But you know what I'm saying? So that's some of the things that he had to deal with, being on the same job. But outside of work, we had a really, really good friendship, man. We had a really, really good bond. And that's what people fail to understand. People were so eager to be in our business so bad and not just worrying about what they can and work for. They worrying about other people. It's like your nose, right? My nose, you can't really smell all your bodily parts, right? But with that same nose, you can smell other people, right? You're in a room with other people. So you're so busy worrying about what other people smell like and not worrying about what you smell like. That's the problem. People are so worried about how other people's shit stinks until you put your own shit in the fan and it blows back at you. So that's how it was. And that's how it's going to be when you're dating somebody at the same job. But it's a matter of, as long as you know what's going on outside the job, that's nobody's business. You just carry on. You go your way, I go my way. And me and her, we're going to be fine. We're going to be our power couple. We're going to be what we're going to be because we were put together. We were put in each other's lives for a reason. Anybody that there was even one time where I came back to her for advice. I had locks. Right? I had locks. Okay. And when I first started podcasting, anybody that knows me knows that I had dreadlocks, or coils. I said coils, and it was only because of the pandemic. And I was asking, and I went back to her, asked everybody, should I cut these off? And there, some people was like, keep them. Some people was like, let them stay on. Some people was like, let them go. So I said, you know what I'm going to go to somebody who I know is going to be honest with me. All my women are honest. All my exes are honest. I don't talk shit about my exes because I picked them. And we're going to put that in the banner tonight. Boom. I don't talk shit about my exes. You know why? Because I take accountability for who I picked. My exes was a representation of me. My exes was a reflection of who I picked. If I picked them, that's who I am. That's who I am a reflection of. I represent them. I represent me. And no matter who's talking shit, no matter who say this, I don't listen to them. It's my ex over everybody. Period. That is how you're supposed to ride for your woman. And I still stand to that concept this day. And I still stand for that to all my exes to this day. You know why? Because I picked them. You ride the carousel and you take that accountability and you ride until you're 6 feet under. 6 feet under. That's how you're supposed to carry. Because if that's not the type of person that you was meant to be with, that's one thing. You move on. But the problem is people use their exes as a reason to why they can't be ready for the next person. Your ex is supposed to teach you a lesson. You're supposed to learn from your ex, not earn from your ex. And when I say earn, I mean, you know how somebody gets cremated, they burn and they turn into, and their particles go inside of the urn. You're not supposed to burn from your ex. You're not supposed to lose your ex. I gained from being with my ex. I gained qualities and value as a man from being with my exes. I gained morals from being with my exes. I learned good things to go by from being with my exes. I learned bad things to not go by from being with my exes. You're supposed to learn. Life is a lesson until you die. Life is a lesson until you die. You're supposed to learn from the people that comes into your life. If they're taken away with you, you have the option right then and there while you know they're taken away from you, whether you stay or whether you leave. If you choose to stay, that's your choice. That's on you. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, guys. Learning to take accountability for the choices that you make, the people that you choose to be in your life. I don't want to hear anybody saying that, hear the story saying, I don't want to hear, and when I get on this live tonight, when I take callers, this is going to be a ladies only chat tonight. I don't want to see any men on here. Ladies only chat. Men you can watch, but I want the ladies to talk to me. Because far too many women, they love to use the term all men. And I'm telling you, all of my women that I date were great. Because I learned from someone. They added to my life. They didn't take away from my life. Bad things happen. What you going to do? You move forward. But you're supposed to leave with something that you gained from them. And I gained, in this 1 year that I was with her, I gained more in this 1 year than I did with any ex that I've ever been with. And I'm always going to use the standard to that. There was little technical things in there why it didn't work from her end. But we're going to also talk from a standpoint on my accountability, why it didn't work from things from my end as well, too. I was plummeted in debt at the time. I had numerous amounts of debt, all kinds of debt. And it was trickling down to me on a point where I was hacking, finding ways to make sure that the rent was getting paid, all that stuff. So, nevertheless, on how you get it, how you can get it, I tell people this all the time: get it how you can get it. If you ain't getting it, okay, it is what it is. But guess what? Men don't get an excuse. Men doesn't get an excuse. Whatever happens, happens. The chips fall where they lay. You take the consequence of not being a leader. And that was the issue that with me. Sorry, y'all. That was the issue with me in my relationship. There was issues with her too. But I'm going to tell you what the issues with me too. Because it takes two to tangle in this case scenario. I was not being a leader. I was not holding the bag up like I should. It seemed like I worked all the hours in the world, but I was not coming home with the bread because I was paying debt, paying this, paying that. I was being a workaholic. I spent more time on my job than I did in my house. A woman actually wants to see her man. That hurt was when a relationship as well too. Sometimes you have to actually enjoy life because you could be talking to me now and you could be dead tomorrow. Sometimes you actually have to learn how to take a break. You could work hard, but you're working hard for you and yours. So you can actually enjoy the things that you get out of working hard, the qualities in life that money can't buy. And what is one of those things? What is one of those things? The first thing, time. 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 Time is very important. Time is something that you cannot fucking waste. Time. And I spent more time at my job than I did that at home. It was my fault that I was in debt. It was my fault that resulted in me not being the best leader that I could be. I was also only 25 at the time. So therefore, it is what it is. It was in my timing to be with her. I chose to be with her. I opened up the invitation to be in a relationship with her and her child that she had, which was an offspring that wasn't mine. And when you choose to be the invited woman into your life, you have to take everything that comes with it. And you have to be able to tackle it. If you go into the dealership and you buy that used car, you got the new car, you got the used car. You got the new car with all the bells and whistles. You got the used car that got some mileage on it. It may got a couple problems with it. If you choose that used car, you have to maintain that used car. I could have easily dealt with somebody, oh, this person doesn't have no kids, but that was my choice. I chose to deal with a woman of this kind, this caliber, so it's up to me to keep up with it. It's up to me to keep up with it. And I'm going to read the comments in a minute. Instagram loaded me with them. So this is what I want to teach you guys today, y'all. If I could take accountability for the choices that I made, ladies, you could take accountability for the choices that you made in life too. You could take accountability for that, the men that you pick. I don't give a rat's ass if you tell me once again that this man did that in the third. Why are you still there? And guess what? Me and that person still communicate to this day. Maybe not as much because she's in a relationship. As it should. She should be respecting her current partner. As she should. And I want to talk about this. I want to talk about it. I want to know, ladies and gentlemen, do you take accountability? Did you learn from the choices and people that you made in your life? I want to know, Are you going to start taking accountability for the people that you choose to be in your life? You pick that person in the beginning for a reason. You start off like you end, folks. If you chose that person in the beginning, it's ride or die until the end, even after you're not with them. Hold on, listen to me now. I'm talking. Don't talk shit now that y'all not together no more. Because a lot of people skip the red flags and they don't even address them. A lot of people skip the red flags and don't nip it in the bud right there. They still stay. So if you still stay, to me, we're going to assume that you were okay with being with them. So you can't talk shit. You can't talk shit about people you make decisions to choose. So that's what we're talking about. This is accountability check. This is accountability check. You learn from the toxic ones. You learn from the different ones. Our relationship ended because she had flaws. I had flaws. I was still in process. I was not being a leader. I was not prepared to be a leader. I thought I was ready to be a leader. But life taught me different at that present time. I am more ready now than I was back then because I took lessons. I learned from my mistakes while I was with this person, and I learned from her mistakes while she was with me. And we understood that. We understood that. Communication. I'm going to talk about communication with me and this particular person. This person was very text message driven. She was young too. Maybe like a couple years apart from each other. She could not express her feelings in person. So she hid them behind text messages. But she still tried, which is what most of people don't even do. They don't even communicate. You ever heard that saying, like, you ever heard a woman say, if I curse you out so much, that means I care about you? This was the case scenario. I used to get my ass handed to. She used to kiss my ass out. But that's because in this instance, that's because she cared. That's because she really loved me. She was all in for me. I don't care what other people said. Because at the end of the day, we came home to each other at night. That's right. We actually lived together. We came home to each other at night. So fuck what everybody else had to say. Because at the end of the day, we was the ones that win. Y'all can be in our DMs all you want. Y'all can be in our text messages all you want. But at the end of the day, when y'all leave work, y'all go home to where y'all go to. Men, you go home to your woman or your right hand. But this woman right here, she comes home to me at night. I come home to her at night. We come home to each other. So who's really winning? The actual situation? Or you just running your mouth? And that's what people fail to realize. This relationship has taught me some obstacles. It taught me how to actually be around a family. It was my first time being around my own family. It was a test trial. I got to learn what it was like being around a family. I got to learn what it was like if I had a daughter, because me and her daughter had a very good bond. Very, very good bond. Love that girl to death. Love that girl to death. Smart as hell. Cooked up as shit. I learned what it was like with the concept of with yours is mine is yours. I learned what it was like to actually communicate with somebody, no matter how it was. Could have been on the phone. It could have been person. Tried it person. I learned so much in this one relationship alone. It taught me that it set me up for success. She set me up for success. And I don't know any other woman that I could say that for. I don't know any other woman that I could say that for. And we're going to get that around the she cool. She a cool person. She cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? If I was where I was at now, at my age and my status and my readiness now back then, hell, who knows? We probably would have been married. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more mature now versus how I was back then. I'm more of a leader now versus what I wasn't back then. I'm more financially stable versus what I was back then. I'm not holding on to grudges. I wasn't holding on to grudges then because I was mentally strong-minded. I was ahead of the game back then. And it prepared me by not being in immaturity. I learned from my immaturities to gain in my maturities. I'm at an age right now in that age bracket, men from ages 27 to 35 should be all in their purpose, focusing on the things that they want in life. If it's not meant for you at that time, for that woman, for that situation, man, and it just ain't meant. It just ain't meant for you. Holy shit. It just ain't meant for you. So we're going to open up the call lines. And I want to hear y'all opinion. Give me a second here. YouTube. We're gonna open up the call lines for y'all. Give me a second here, and we're gonna do a small, brief little information. I might let some of the men talk tonight, but I really want to hear from the ladies. Men, you can call into the show. That's fine. I'm gonna put the banner up. But right now, you can call in if I see a missed call. I'll call back. But right now, we're just gonna go to a quick intermission while I get while I send some more invites out on the YouTube end. And there's the number, 215-509-8880, 215-509-8880. Any participants waive all rights to privacy on YouTube and Instagram in the comment section, on the phone calls, and in the video chats. It's time for our intermission. Call lines open. Get the lights up. And I'm going to read some of these comments as well, too. I see a lot of comments came in. We're going to read the comments. So let me turn this off. I'm going to read the comments. I'm going to go all the way back because I see a shitload of comments. Okay. Talia says, what did your exes do? I'm reading all the comments and I'm going to take the first caller. Talia says, what did your exes do? LOL. Alex says, awesome. Shout out to you, Alex. He says, I worked at Sacramento Airport for 4 years. Nice. He said, yes, because Lashia Star said, yes. Yeah, because a lot of adults still act like children, especially at the airport. Nora said, hell, I should do 109 hours. Popcorn emoji said, run your movie. Alex says, I was done by my 4th year for sure. Talia says, for sure. Some people never left the airport lifestyle. Yep. Alex says, the dude I trained still works at the airport. Nori says, I'm requited love. Damn, man. Talia said, you said something then, my boy. Teef says, what up? Shout out to you. Teef said, tag me in. Pause. He said, add him to the live. Let's change that. Talia says, "Why did you get them?" She says, "Oh, you miss her." I see. Mira in here. Hey, what's going on? Talia says, "Basically, you needed a backbone." Yes, yes. I needed to grow a freaking backbone. And men gain maturity and growth in time. That's why women look for older men. That's why women look for older men. Do you understand now? So he says, you just remind me of the scheduled vacation issue. I'm cracking up. Nori says, yes, working too much of some whole shit. I definitely was riding around at the circus, playing around with nothing but lessons and fun, especially the toxic ones. Relationship talk with G's. You're talking to A1G's. How you doing? How you doing, Smooth?
What's going on? This Smooth over here, man.
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? Talk to me.
Yeah, everything's cool. Everything's cool. I only got a few minutes, but I figured I'd try to catch you before I end up having to do my next joint. But I definitely want to weigh in on what you got going on here.
Talk to me, man.
All right, so with these females, right? Like, let's say the one. I know you said you were not ready to be a leader, right?
At the present time, where I thought I was ready to be a leader, but life taught me that I was not ready at that time to raise a family.
So, can we get specific with how old you were?
I was 25 at the time.
Okay. Now, granted, that's about when most men start becoming men. However, most people understand that men age like wine, and with time, you become better.
Like this wine right here in my hand.
You're wiser. You start to earn more, and men generally are at their pinnacle when they're roughly 40 years old. So it's great that you took accountability. However, I don't feel like that was all your fault. I feel like, the female could ride with it, you know what I'm saying, if she sees potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you must have at least displayed that you had a spark or some type of know-how. I mean, you were on your own already, you know what I'm saying? So
correct.
You're at least had your independence, which is a lot more than I can say for, many other 25-year-olds, particularly of the later generations. So I feel like she should have given you a little more slack and had a little more patience because, as it is, like it is right now, you got financial freedom. You don't work for anyone. So they probably would have been in a very good position. Could have been a very good partner to have. You know what I'm saying? Versus just waiting. A lot of females just want to meet you at the finish line and then think that, and not really bringing that much to the table and feel like that's what's up. And I don't think so.
Well, I will say this: we both contributed to the demise, but I wanted to mainly talk about my end too, because people could say all day that their opposite sex partner did that, but if you can't find where you have flaws and contribution to that, you just don't need to be in a relationship.
Yeah, and nothing's perfect or whatever, right? But I still feel like that was just kind of
So the message,
a little much. Yeah.
So the message that I'm sending to the ladies tonight is, I use my own case scenario where I'm able to take accountability for my decisions to show ladies that you can no longer tell me about using the word all men or he did this, he did that. Just like I took accountability because I picked her, you could take accountability because you picked him. That's right. That's right.
And you got to live with your decisions. I would say it's important to, like you said earlier, learn from your decisions. You're not expected to make the same mistakes over and over. You know what I'm saying? You live and you learn, and you got to get better with all of your mistakes. Your mistakes are necessary. That's how you grow. From learning what did work and what doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel it's important to learn all of these lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
even if you think of it as like a fighter, let's say, you know, you got to work your way up the rankings. You got to get through all of these opponents before you meet. You know, you get to that championship round, and you know what I mean. So
Right.
it is what it is. You got to get better and just continue to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but yeah, I definitely understand why you would want to take accountability because you know we all make our mistakes and
Right.
we grow.
And people just demonize their ex like they were the enemy. And they do. And when I say this, I'm talking about what ladies say about men, and then they generalize. They use the specific person that they was with, and they turn it into a generalization for all men. And that's when I have to check them. That's when I have to check that shit and say, no, is it all men that is a piece of shit, or is it the men that you're picking that's a piece of shit? Because obviously he wasn't a piece of shit at the time when you picked him. So stop that shit. Stop that talking shit. Don't talk shit, because if he ain't shit, you ain't shit.
You gotta live with it, and you have to.
If she ain't shit, I ain't shit. So I guess we ain't shit together.
Yeah, I heard a lady complaining all crazy on social media the other day about you know, she just ran into, maybe this is just a really bad string of luck. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I said to her? I said, you know what? Just probably your selection process. So she looks it. That's very presumptuous of you to say for someone you don't know. And I'm like, well, guess what? You just gave out your whole scenario, so maybe I don't know you, but I can easily decipher your situation that you just explained. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I said, notice, you didn't say I was wrong. You just didn't like it. She had nothing after that.
That's right. That's right. Hold on one second. Shout out to Sid. How you doing, Sid? Go ahead.
But yeah, that's what I got, bro.
Yeah, man.
You had me on for a quick second.
No problem, man. How does I changed the quality output on the mic? How does it sound?
Oh yeah, everything's looking good.
I'm telling you, I spit the whole freaking night 2 nights ago, like until 5 in the morning watching. You know, you already know who I was watching. I was watching his setup to see how he had everything on there. I was listening to his audio quality sound, and I'm like, yo, I have different audio quality outputs.
This legitimate. You can't complain about that.
Yeah, man. So I'm like, I think it sounds crisp now. All right, man. Appreciate you.
No doubt.
Later. That was a good conversation, man. And definitely, I wanna tap you in for a second. You can cover your screen, but I just want to talk to you for a second. If you heard anything that I was saying, if not, I'll catch you up to date. But, you know, tap in real fast. How you doing? I'm good. How are you, Sid? So did you hear a lot of the monologue from earlier?
I really did, but I think it depends on my show the topic based off of what you got picked.
It's exactly what it is. I just did a monologue, and I dug deep into one of my personal relationships, past relationships that I had, and you know how I met the person, how long I was with them, the case scenario, on why it didn't work from her end, why it didn't work from my end, why I thought I was ready to be a leader at the time, but life taught me that I wasn't. I was piled in debt. I had a lot of different case scenarios to show that, you know, and I said that this is like one of the best relationships that I had. And, you know, and I learned and I gained as a human being from this relationship, even though it didn't work out. And I learned to take accountability for the people that I picked. And this is the message that I want to send to the ladies. Ladies, if you can learn from the people that you were with and stop demonizing your exes because you picked them. If they ain't shit, you ain't shit. I guess y'all ain't shit together. So, you know, if I could take accountability for for the women I was with and actually learn and gain from them because they added to who I am today. Why can't women do the same thing? I don't know what happened, but I just How are you, man? Did you hit this? This is a topic, a specific topic oriented discussion. So I hear myself echoing. Do you have Bluetooth on? Do you have your Bluetooth on? Okay. Did you get to hear my monologue? No problem. I'm gonna click you out and put it back in and see if it's skipping. Okay. Give me 1 second. So let's try again in a second. That didn't work out so well. All right, but let's try it again. Yeah, I was hearing myself. Say something. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm gonna put the phone closer to the mic. Mic check. Can you hear me? Oh yeah, his thing's going crazy right now. That's okay. We're gonna try. Sid, are you able to come back in? Are you able to come back in? And just so you guys can see the banner, that's the banner that I had Instagram, YouTube. I don't know if you guys saw the banner, but also I want to pull up a video as well too. I want to pull up a video from YouTube. I'm going to do a part 2 to this. Tomorrow night, I'm going to pull up a video, and it is a video of when I called in to the gentleman that you heard on the phone. He is Trev Smooth from Take It to the Streets TV. His platform is called Chew the Fat with Smooth. Check him out. If you have not seen his platform, you're tripping. Check out his platform. Good brother right there. He has good content, very well alike to that of mine. So check his name out, Chew the Fat with Smooth. You're going to see a video tomorrow night. I'm going to be live. We're going to continue this conversation. We're not done. I'm just letting you know. You're going to see a video, and I'm going to post it up on my live stream. And it's a video of when I called into his show. I had a conversation with him over the phone, and we were talking about accountability, and you're going to hear, actually, I had some things to say, and it was pretty much a snippet to pretty much the conversation that I'm having tonight. So it's going to be a part 2 tomorrow night. In the meantime, and I'm going to play that. I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm going to see. Let's see if we can get somebody else. Boom. I see the calls coming back. Let me finish reading all the comments. So, Nori says, all my exes are my babies. Nothing but lessons and fun, especially the toxic ones. Let me read the rest of them. I see a bunch of highs in here. How you doing? Shout out to Keith. Shout out to C4 Matt. Shout out to Sid the Scientist. Shout out to Denisha. Shout out to Dolly. 0403. A lot of people popping in. Shout out to Drew from Muller. How you doing? Everybody said hi. Okay, cool. How are you?
You called me on a good day.
That's right. What do you have for me you was in there most of the time. What do you have for me on the topic? You heard the monologue?
Yeah, I think I heard because I had to be in that.
All right. So it's time. So it's time for me to be quiet. Now it's your floor. What do you have for me on the topic?
got brush me up on it, bro. I've been in and out.
Well, I mean, what did you hear?
I think the last thing I had logged out was when the guy had came on. I guess he was trying to like speak his piece or whatever. That's the last part I saw. I did hear about you know your little relationship and about you and the backbone thing that we had to talk about outside here.
Okay, so based off of what you heard, talking about using me as an example that can take accountability, and I'm using this as a message to where if I could take accountability as a man for the woman that I picked and has gained and came into my life, you could take accountability. Women could take accountability for the men that they choose, good, bad, ugly, right, wrong, or indifferent, and use this as fundamental lessons to the growth, to what should be the growth of the kind and caliber person that you would want to be today for your best outcome. So with that being said, and based off of what you heard, what do you have for me on the topic? Tap in. Take your time.
I feel as though one thing I can't commend you on is something that my husband just could never, fully get through his head. He was a workaholic as well. That nigga always, wanted to pick up extra shifts and stuff like that. And by him being always at work, he didn't recognize or, fully acknowledge that he was kind of not showing up at home because he was always, at work. So I can't commend you and take accountability for that because that's something that he just simply could not fucking understand at that time. And he still does not understand, understood at that time. I do also recognize and I commend you on the fact that you took accountability for the fact that, you don't got no kids and stuff like that. And, your first serious relationship. The girl had kids and, everything like that. Which is also, a good sign, taking accountability because you did recognize that was a choice. You never had experiences with, women that have kids and stuff like that. That was your choice to, pursue that type of, family dynamic and everything like that. So I feel as though, you handled it with maturity. You did take some forms of, accountability. But I do feel like there's still some things that you do need to work on. And that's from our personal, relationship and our talks from outside of here, as well as, trying to put yourself out there and not retracting, saying it with your chest, saying, how the fuck you feel. So I still feel like you still necessarily in the process. It's like, how can I say it? It's like you come out a little bit, but then you like retract. I'm trying to get you to fully, let your, your flag fly, okay? Say what you mean, what the fuck you say. Because I gotta be honest, G's. I gotta be honest.
Listen, let me tell you something. I only repel. I'm like a blowfish. I only repel what you give. So if it's given, you ain't putting everything out. It's given. That's when I'm going to repel back. Let that sink in for a sec, and we'll talk about that another time. So I might have already knew what some people were doing. We'll just put it like that. And maybe I was just repelling the same energy in return. So there was a breaking point in time where that person, this is a different person, that person said, you gotta da-da-da-da-da. I said, well, if that's the case, well then fuck it. I'm only gonna give what you give back. So if that person is going to play a game and me and that person ain't even talking yet, I said, I can play the game too. So yeah, but let's continue on it. On the notion of accountability. On the notion of accountability, what can you gain from this moving forward when looking at your ex history as a woman to your men that you dealt with? What can you gain from this situation, from this case scenario?
Well, for me, before I even, hopped on the situation or, before me and you even came past, this is shit that I kind of pretty much figured out, on my own, as far as accountability and stuff like that. You know me, I'm big on accountability. And as far as me, like, with my exes, I I've never cried or was upset about who I picked. That shit was fun. Because how can I say? I already saw where it was headed. I already saw where it was going. I saw the first red flag. I still wanted to walk into the damn circus. I still wanted to play. I still wanted to see what was going on. Because to me, this shit is fun. It was fun to me because it's like, I always had the ability to keep that barrier to where I know it's a snake, but I'm not going to let the motherfucker bite me. But I'm still going to have my fun, and I'm still going to learn my life lessons. I took every ex that I had as a life lesson. I took it as a goddamn carnival ride. Like, right down to the cheating, the bad, the good, the ugly. This shit was fun for me. Like, all my ex-fella, all my exes. All of them. They could come spin the block again, and we could play this circus, the circus round again. Like, I love the experience. Me, like I said, I might not be a human being because of the way I think. I take everything as an experience, a life lesson. I love the shit out of it. Even my abusive relationship, even a narcissist I decided to marry, the amount of lessons I learned from it, the amount of energy that drives me up.
Hold on. Let me stop you right there. So I just spoke to a lady about this last night. I started a new segment. It's called Late Night Accountability Check. So I think like every Friday, like I'm gonna do or sometime of the weekend, I'm gonna do like a late night. I'm talking about a midnight show. So because apparently there's a shitload of people up at that time. So and I gotta ask you the same thing I asked her. Man, I gotta ask you, what is a narcissist?
Oh, let me tell you, boo. Let me tell you. So, mind you, y'all can see I work in the medical field and stuff. So, I've been around, all different types of mental disorders, right down to schizophrenics, narcissists, hypersexuals, anything. I've been doing this shit for 10 years. I watch people, that's been like this for 10 years, especially narcissists. A narcissist is somebody that, how can I explain it? They can never take accountability for how they reacted. It's like you could tell this person over and over again, and energetically, this person can feel this shit. They know they fucking up, but it's like it has to do something with their childhood, the way they was raised. Especially between the ages of like 5 and 7, especially with the mother and father dynamic. Whether you got a 2-parent household or a single-parent household, anybody can grow up into being a full-blown narcissist. And the issue with being a narcissist is the person cannot change and cannot see past their own faults. It's a real self-esteem issue. This is somebody that has no self-esteem, no anything. This is somebody that always wants to one-up on somebody as far as a narcissist, even a partner. This is somebody, if you're dating a narcissist right now, that's your biggest fucking hater. That's your biggest hater. That's the one that's going to want to see you.
That's a bunch of case scenario situations. What is the simple? What I'm saying is, what is the simple definition of a narcissist? Like
somebody can't take accountability. That's it. One word.
Okay.
One sentence.
All right. I'm going to read you a definition, a couple definitions I've seen here. As a noun, it says a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. As a noun, it says a person who has this definition, who has an excessive interest or admiration of themselves. And here's a sentence that uses an example. Narcissists who think the world revolves around them. That's what it describes as a noun. So let's say, let's see what it says as an adjective. Okay, as an adjective, it says admiring yourself too much, especially your appearance. As a, let's do it as a verb. As a verb, it says excessive interest is or admiration of oneself or one's physical appearance. Under psychology, it says selfishness involving a sense of entitlement, a lack of empathy, or a need for admiration as characterizing a personality type.
That's the true definition behind it.
And the main one that I want you to focus on is this one. Self-centeredness centeredness arising from failure to distinguish the self from external objects, either in very young babies or as a feature of mental disorder. So, can we both agree that being narcissism is a disorder?
I just said that it's a mental disorder. It's a mental illness. That's what is classified underneath as psychology.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I wanted you to simplify it for the audience.
Nigga, you know why I'm about to get the fuck out.
No, I'm saying, I want you to simplify for the audience because sometimes, you know, like we can go to the long convoluted version or definition of it, but you know, simplify when we first bringing up something because a lot of people don't know about the things that we're talking about. So
and
just.
then I think it's so as far as you talking about simplifying the first two definitions, you even said that don't even simplify shit.
Well, just different definitions that's under it. So.
Yeah, but no.
But the most important one when it pertains to relationships, I wanted to make sure we was pinpointing on the right definition of narcissism. The most important definition is the psychology definition of that. It is for me, it's the only relevant one. So, but yeah, man, definitely. And what would you say if you were in my shoes, like, and you were talking to like your younger self? What would you tell these ladies out here as far as the case scenario that I gave for my monologue tonight?
To me personally, like I said, I had been through it. How can I say it? Outside opinions, don't pay attention to that. Only you know when you're ready to leave. Only you know when you're ready to leave. And then don't take it as a loss. It's not a loss. A lot of y'all. It might sound petty, but like I said, sometimes God or whatever the fuck y'all believe in is going to bring you somebody that's going to help you grow, but it's going to be painful as fuck. It's going to be painful as fuck. Like I was married to my narcissist. This is something a forever thing. That's why I always say I'm grateful for what the fuck he put me through. Because if I did not go through that, I would not be the person I am today. I would not be the person I am today. And I'm not upset about, I'm not upset
emotional, damn it.
Here's another idea that's going to be very controversial.
We still have a beautiful, understanding, but it's, how can I say it? It's only a bond between me and him that will understand. He fucked me over multiple times. Hell, I might have fucked him over just to get a lick back.
Hold on.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Always. And that's how it is. We match each other. We want problems always. We always come back to each other, regardless of who I'm with, whether I'm dancing at the race circus with somebody else, whether he out there with his girlfriend or whatever. I hope I know he ain't watching this. But like we still married, like we still got that real, brother and sister bondly love. Like
hope he ain't watching it. Hope he ain't watching it.
Oh, he watching. I still love you, my husband, forever. I know you're a dog. I know you've been doing, going through your shit in your life. It's okay, babe. Catch me in the next lifetime. We can do this shit again.
I'm cracking up. Yeah. I'm cracking up.
Hey, it was the most liberating, scary experience I ever had in my life. But it gave me my spiritual awakening. It made me so more willing to be open and honest and just fuck it. Y'all just fuck it. Don't be scared. Like it gave me so much openness. Like for me, like 2 years ago, I'd be sitting here. I wouldn't even be able to tell y'all the story without breaking down the tears, without crying. Like he did this. He assaulted me. He did this, that, and the third. I would have cried. But the day is like I could look at him and not feel no hatred. And not feel but pure love because I have duality. I understand my viewpoint and I also understand his viewpoint. And I feel like when we was together, I didn't really fully understand why he was the way he was and to accept it. I had to fully accept that he did not want to change. This person that I had fell in love with was not the person that he really was. It was an illusion. It was a love bomb, and I had to accept it. But I also saw his potential and what he could have been. And I still see that. And to this day, that's still the only man I ever loved in my life. In my entire life, that's still hands down, that's still the only man I ever loved in my life. No man, even if he put me through stuff. I should have shot this nigga. I should have shot this motherfucker. I'm sorry. And I tell him every day, like, I should have stayed and shot you up. His mama should have had a closed casket funeral. And you know why I'm proud of myself? Because I survived it. All my exes, you know, all of it. I survived it, and I'm still here. I'm still out here trying to love on people. You know, I'm still out here giving my 110. I don't care who broke my heart. I might, you know, have to sit in the corner repaired, but I'm gonna get up.
Whoa. Be choice. Wording. Choice of wording. Choice of wording.
I'll make you famous.
Say again.
Oh, they got their sensory stuff on there.
No, but you know we don't want to make it 100% non-PG-13. I mean, this is a grown folks conversation, and YouTube is probably going to end up marking my channel as something for only 18 plus older, which they probably should have did a long time ago. But you know, I am trying to get monetized at some point, so I don't want them putting I don't want them saying RIPing my channel. So, but yeah, man, appreciate you. You know, I'm gonna hit you up as soon as it's done. Answer your phone. All right. That was a good conversation. Let's I'll take one more caller. And we're actually way ahead of time, you know, because we're gonna go live again. We're gonna go live again tomorrow. Yeah, man. I'll try to take one more caller. But yeah, man, like you gotta understand, no matter how bad or severity the situation is, what I got out of this and what you should get out of this is that you're supposed to learn 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're supposed to learn from the people that you chose to be in your life. You cannot talk down on a person that you chose to be in your life. If it ended the way it ended, that's fine. If that person was what you claim to be the abuser, it actually was, that's fine. I get it. I get that part. But it doesn't rectify you talking shit on the situation, because a lot of these people that say that still choose to stay. You're supposed to get a learning lesson from it. It's supposed to gain you growth and maturity as a human being. And I gained nothing but that from this particular case scenario. So we have to keep these to a 2 hour minimum, 2 hour maximum. Attention spans. That is the reason why. I'm going to try to take one more caller. Give me a second here. Type in the name. I'm going to take one more caller. See if I can get somebody. Ladies, this is the ladies chat. Men, if you want to join in, that's fine. But this is really technically a ladies only chat. I'll take one more caller. But it was nice to actually hear a female perspective and then hear one male perspective. Are you in it, Mary? Are you there? I think I see her name popped in there. If it did, I don't see why it's not popping up. Oh, it shows that I sent the invite, but she didn't accept it yet. Okay. Let me call another person. I had a couple people that asked me to reach out to them because I believe they were working. I believe they were working. Um, let's do it. Let's do it. Um, Bree Monet. Bree dot Monet. Oh, and by the way, y'all, if anybody knows me personally outside and know the person that I was referring to, you're not allowed to speak on here. I will not allow you to speak on my exes. That's just not gonna happen. That's what we're not gonna do. Because like I said, I have respect. This is just a conversation. Um, let me. I want to bring in this other person. Uh, 1 second here. Yeah, if you know anybody who's looking for more comments, let's share the live. I got a few more minutes before we can go. And while we're at it, YouTube, if you F's with your boy, you already know how we do it, baby. That's my Cash App, R Talk Sessions. R Talk Sessions. Okay, that's my Cash App right there. That's my Cash App, and this is the banner. It was a good conversation with my name. I actually enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, man. Felt good talking about this, man, because she was cool as shit. She was cool as shit. She was a cool ass chick. She's still cool to this day. And she pops through once in a while. I'll check on her once in a while. You know, kind of like an in passing type thing. Give me a second. I'm trying to look for this name. Somebody told me to reach out to them because they wanted to have a conversation on this. We're gonna get one more person in here. Let's get the person from last night. Invite them. And this time, I don't mind if I do a panel. Try to squeeze in as much as we can last minute. We got about 15 minutes before I'm going to close out. Makes you smile, goddaughter. I'm trying to find. I wrote it in here, and I'm like, where the hell is this lady's name? She was in here. I want to try to find her name real fast. Give me a sec because she told me to contact her because she wanted to talk about this. She was waiting to have a conversation with me. There we go. I found it. I'm going to let her come back. Let's see if she taps in. I enjoyed this. This is pretty much the prelude to the rest of the conversation that we're going to have throughout the rest of the week, next couple of weeks or so. Unless I see something like crazy is like trending, I can touch on that too. But we want to trend set our own topics. We want to be what the community is talking about, not us talking about things going on in the community. We want to be what the community is talking about. So we got to change that narrative. We want to be what the streets is talking about. We want to be what the streets is talking about. We don't want to always talk about people that's going viral. We want to be the people that's going viral. So that is what is going to happen. But we're going to have a continuation of this part 2 tomorrow. I don't talk shit about my exes because I picked them. It's going to be part 2 tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on YouTube and on Instagram Eastern Standard Time. So if you missed this one tonight, you're tripping, but it will be on YouTube if you want to watch the playback. So with that being said, gotta turn these lights on. I really enjoyed you guys. This was a really good conversation. It made me feel good talking about it because I could tell you this particular ex knows how I feel about her. She knows I still feel good. I still feel good about her. And I'm glad she's doing what she's doing, how she's carrying. She's doing really good. I'm doing really good. And that's the most important thing, man. And definitely the hands of friendship will never leave with this particular person because she's a good woman. But yes, tomorrow night, part 2 of I Don't Talk Shit About My Exes Because I Picked Them. We'll be streaming tomorrow night on YouTube at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I appreciate everybody who came in on this very sensitive topic matter that I was able to open up share some of my experiences with you guys and see what you guys can gain from it. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to Relationship Talk with G's, where our conversations aim to keep you pleased. I'm your boy A1Gs, and you have been welcomed into the Guru's house. But as I always say, it's time to put your shoes back on because you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Deuces. We are over and out.